Python Pit. This coaster looks really bare with its placement towards the back of this bowling alley. But that doesn't take away from the ride experience, as it is still a solid coaster. But was it worth a 10-hour drive just to ride it? Find out in this review. Python Pit opened in 2016, after being relocated from a mall in Kansas where it operated at Zonkers for the preceding 20 years. This is a modular coaster from E&F Miler Industries and is an almost near clone of the two kiddie coasters at Fun Spot Atlanta and Fun Spot Kissimmee. The roller coaster database lists this as a slightly different model, which is a clone of Mind Twister at Rumlinger Farms. This is the same manufacturer that made Hurricane at Fun Spot Kissimmee and formerly Screamin' Eagle, now Hurricane, at Fun Spot Atlanta. For a Texas flavor, Prairie Screamer is the only other operating high miler, or large coaster this company made. Though they have a Wild Mouse in Crazy Dane Coaster and a water coaster in Big Timber Log Ride. This version with its central helix only has 4 different clones currently in operation, though 9 different clones of the Sea Serpent model exist, and many defunct or relocated coasters of this model share the common name of Python Pit. So it was nice finally getting on one with the correct name. Fast Lanes Entertainment is a bowling alley that opened in 2006. They have 2 different areas to bowl, plus laser tag, and a large overpriced arcade. Towards the back, they have 3 attractions in a play gym, a set of bumper cars, and Python Pit. Though this area does look a bit open and kinda bare. On the day I visited, they were offering a special of $20 for unlimited bowling, laser tag, and play gym, which is a really nice perk for families, but meant that the other rides were relatively quiet despite the park as a whole being packed. With my time at the park, Python Pit only cycled 3 or 4 times, 2 of which were when I rode it, though both of those rides did have full trains. Ride operators would bounce between the coaster and the bumper cars, so you might have to wait just a little bit for an attendant to come over. But otherwise, it should be really quick if you're just looking to pop into fast lanes to get this coaster credit. I might have been tired from my drive, as I tried to drive to Magic Springs, but when it was closed for weather, I continued driving here, making it a 10-hour drive from my home in the Houston area. It is an extra 3.5 hours from Magic Springs, so not as close as one might think with both parks being in Arkansas. But this park's pricing did confuse me some. And normally I'm fairly good with this, even if family entertainment centers try to be a bit sneaky with their pricing. I bought a $20 game card to ride the coaster twice and the bumper cars. But when I went to ride the coaster a second time, they said I was $1 short, even though all 3 attractions are listed at $6 for a total of $18. But I think there is an extra card fee you have to pay when you get a card. So when I went back and added $1 and then went back to the coaster, I was still like a few cents short. But the ride attendant was super nice and let me ride anyways without charging me, and this seemed to be on par with the park as a whole, as all the staff members that I interacted with were chill and really nice at helping out the overall guest experience. As price is a major concern with FECs, I wish the pricing was a bit more transparent. But $6 to, I guess, $8 for this coaster is fair considering similar pricing at other FECs. The ride seems like it's almost exclusively ridden by kids, as even most adults don't seem to pay to ride with their kids. But there is no posted max height restriction, and the attendant gladly scanned my card and gave me a seat. So, for those adults seeking the credit, go for it. As for the coaster, the restraint is a bit odd, but very free. It consists of a lap bar that will be far above your lap and an attached strap that will lower to help hold you in place. Although you shouldn't go flying out of the car, You will be free to pop up for any airtime as well as move side to side if you're riding in a car alone. The ride starts by going up a hill, which seems like a rather high hill for this type of kiddie coaster. And getting close to the ceiling only messes with your spatial depth, making you feel like you're even higher. The first drop is nice, as you will get a bit of airtime as it throws you downwards. Though more just decent and not super great feelings, even for a kiddie coaster. The sharp turn at the bottom of the hill will then send you rocking to the other side of your car, making for an enjoyable roller coaster. This is more of a rocking jolt here than a moment of laterals, so it is a unique sensation, but neat when mixed with the mild positive G's of the valley. Then you travel upwards, getting no airtime before entering a helix. The second half of the helix is banked, which negates some of the laterals. Towards the front, it is a solid neutral helix, which certainly has its place on a kiddie coaster, but just isn't a standout element by any means. Towards the back, I did get solid laterals on the helix as you're pulled down, though this was also with a full train. In my experience on similar coasters, the middle actually gives the best ride here, as you're able to get fun laterals during the helix. So if you're paying per ride, I would suggest trying to sit in the middle, as that's my preferred row on this type of coaster. With full trains and a bunch of kids ahead of me, I just settled on a back and a front row ride for my 2 rides on this coaster, as the middle was already taken. And the back did offer fine laterals, so I really wasn't disappointed with that decision. Finally, Python Pit goes over a series of small bunny hills. These are too small to offer any real airtime, but do give a nice rocking back and forth quasi-airtime sensation, which is enjoyable, especially if your train has a bit more speed from a full load. Then you do get extra laps on the coaster in true kiddie coaster fashion before braking in the station. Overall, how good is Python Pit? This coaster offers a fun kiddie coaster experience with a neat drop, enjoyable helix, and some rocking on the final hills that really makes this a complete coaster. Some complaints about fast lane entertainment overall bleed into my thoughts on the coaster, but the setting being close to the ceiling does help add that extra touch to overcome this. I rank Python Pit right above Daddy Pig's roller coaster at Peppa Pig Theme Park at Dallas and Fort Worth. This new for 2025 coaster offers a helix drop, a wave turn, and a boost, and another hilled helix along with top-notch theming. But it just doesn't have any extra fun laterals or rocking like Python Pit, even if it does have a bit more of a complete coaster feel. I rank Python Pit right below Fiesta Express at Austin's Park, which is a really simple coaster, but offers really strong laterals on the various turns, making it just a bit more special of a ride. This wasn't the best kiddie coaster, as many others rank ahead of it, but I did really enjoy being able to stop driving after so long and ride a coaster like this. So I guess it was worth it. What are your thoughts on Python Pit at Fast Lanes Entertainment? Is this a solid kiddie coaster? Let me know, and as always, Capcoon Crap.